Dan Radiostyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. This is your report card. Manifesting. Manifesting is not just how we create things in our life. It's very important. Most of us get into it for those reasons. But what is extraordinarily important in the big picture is that your manifestation is really your relationship with your outer world and your inner world. You see, it starts from the inside and it progresses to the outside. So everything you see on the outside world is a reflection of your inside world. And that's awesome. Now, a lot of people have problems with this because they're trying desperately to work a manifestation, right? And most people, when they first start doing manifestations, they learn about techniques. And one of the things, I've done a bunch of technique videos. I've done a bunch of stuff like Neville Goddard and all that, Hicks and everybody. So we've done a lot. And really now, what I feel like is super important is the evolution of our manifesting understanding. Now, again, we might be trying to manifest a specific person. Maybe we're trying to manifest a job. Maybe we're trying to manifest something. That's why a lot of us come to this channel or channels similar to this. So what is it that you want? All right, we're trying to work through something. Is it a relationship? Is there a specific person that you're trying to get to? Or is there maybe some sort of monetary amount? Maybe it's a house you're trying to manifest. Maybe it's some sort of job. Maybe an improvement in a relationship or an improvement in your health. What is it that we're trying to manifest? And the big question that we kind of need to ask, and most of us don't want to, and probably one of the major differences between my channel and, say, a lot of other channels out there, is it's one thing to constantly tell you, it's you pushed out, this is you 100%, no matter what, you got this. And that's true. It is true. 95% of the time, maybe more. But there are times in life where you will notice I'm doing all the manifesting. I'm staying true and positive in my thinking. I'm actually holding the wish fulfilled. But for whatever reason, I seem to be having a hard time connecting. Maybe I'm not able to get the relationship to move anything further than just some casual text messages or a standard hi when they see me at the coffee shop. Maybe my boss keeps giving me things like I feel like I'm taking a step forward, but then it feels like I'm taking a step back and I don't understand why. And what many of us fail to not recognize, or what most of us initially do, is we'll blame ourselves. We'll blame our manifestation. It's obviously I'm doing the technique wrong. I'm obviously questioning things. And to a degree, you probably are. But one of the things we have to ask ourselves is, why am I trying to manifest this? What is it that I'm trying to actually accomplish? If it's the case of a relationship, am I trying to get back with someone? Is it solely because it hurts and I'm trying to end that pain? And so sometimes your manifestation may not really be for altruistic reasons, but maybe might actually be for selfish reasons, selfish gain, maybe just trying to make pain go away. But again, sort of reasons that aren't necessarily on the larger or the best version of who you are. So sometimes we come at it from a little more of a selfish standpoint. Again, not necessarily anything wrong with that. But sometimes, if you're not noticing in the outer world what it is that you're working very hard towards, oftentimes there's something still missing in the inner world. There is a piece of the pie missing. There's some place where either A, our beliefs are a little off, or B, maybe we need to be a little more balanced in our approach. And one of the ways that we'll typically find these things out is you'll do your techniques, or you'll be in the middle of like, all right, I'm moving forward and this is positive things are coming my way today. I'm going to make bank, or I'm going to get this opportunity. My boss is going to look at me and go, Dan, you've done such a great job. Here's another thing you can run with. And so you're in the middle of it, but then something happens that causes you to doubt it, question it, get a little negative, and you may not notice it, you may not key in on it, and you may even quickly revert to positive thinking. But it really is that little negative thing that nags, that pops up, that needs to be addressed. A lot of us just want to slap a Band-Aid on it, when in reality, it needs some antiseptic, a little bit of a washing, and then you can maybe put a Band-Aid on it to keep it clean. But we don't do that. We don't take the time to really dig into who we are. Know thyself. Who am I? Is a key question into manifesting. And if you're having problems, this is likely where your issue resides. So in the case of a job, maybe, right? Your boss keeps giving you something, you run with it, you do good. Now you may be a little insecure. This is common in this kind of scenario where you're not necessarily going to find success because there are some things to keep tabs on, keep track of. Are you being a little insecure? Do you question, I hope he likes it. I hope my boss likes what I did. I put a lot of extra time in it. Well, of course he's going to. And that's really the thinking that you should have. But we don't. We come at it from I hope they like it. And we feel we're being positive, and we are to a degree. But really, the sponsoring thought, and I've talked a lot about these, the sponsoring thought is, I'm not good enough. I hope that he sees I am. But you're already doubting, because if you knew you were good enough, if you believed you were good enough, you would be. And that thought really wouldn't creep in. It would be more to the effect of, I know he's going to finally see. He's going to see what an awesome employee I am. And there's a huge difference between those two mindsets. Maybe you're trying to get involved with a specific person or just people in general. Maybe you're trying to get a relationship. Maybe there's someone that you've bumped into, and for whatever reason, you can't seem to get further than where you're at right now. Now, again, if it's a specific person, especially if it's someone that you maybe have history with, one of the key things I find when I coach, almost invariably, if someone's having a hard time with their relationship manifestation, it's almost invariably, like 80% of the time easily, it's an issue with how they view themselves, how they view the relationship, how they view the individual. They want them. They don't want them to get out and be with other people. They hurt, so they want them back, but they're angry that they were left to begin with. So there's these unresolved feelings. Now, manifesting, you're going to get yourself right up to your goal, right up to the person that you want to see. I guarantee you, we can get your orbits so close that you'll be able to say hi to each other in some way, shape, or form. But as I've frequently talked about, when you're thinking about that individual, are you thinking about them from love, from forgiveness, from openness? Or are you thinking about them from a frustration, an anger that they're putting you through this, you're keeping me from what I want? You cheated, you did this, you did that. And so we keep finding these negative emotions pop up. Well, I've talked about thought transmissions a bunch. You should look it up on my channel. I've done many, many videos on thought transmissions. Every time you hold someone in your mind and then have a feeling about them, that gets projected out. Sensitive people will pick up on it. Non-sensitive people will just start to have a feeling about you that's not positive. So when you do bring your orbits together and you see each other, they may not feel the way you want them to, because those aren't the feelings you've been sending them. Sure, you've been doing all these techniques, but your outer world's not necessarily showing you the results that you want. There is an inner thing that needs to be dealt with. It's sometimes unfortunate, and this is the part of manifesting that most people dislike, is the part where I've got to actually do work. But that's what manifesting is. Manifesting is your relationship with the outer world. You have an enormous amount of control over your experience. If your experience is not what you like, then you need to look at what you're offering to the outer world. What is your projection? What is the movie that you're playing right now? Because it's obviously not totally congruent with what your thoughts are about where you're trying to go and your actions. And I've frequently said, what you think, what you say, and what you do is how you manifest, period. What you think is the weakest form of manifestation, but it certainly plays a large role. So you're spending a lot of time thinking and all that. Fantastic. Are you saying the proper things, or do you find yourself sometimes questioning things? Oh, I don't know if he's going to like me. I don't know if my boss is going to be happy with the work I did. I don't know. You've got to pay attention, because if it's not showing up in your outer world, there's definitely something that your inner process is doing to sabotage this. And of course, your actions. Are your actions solid? Like you're someone that knows exactly what's up. Hey, boss, here's the work. I got it done. I think it's really awesome. I think you're going to dig it. Pride in the work you've done. Is that part of your actions? Or do you just kind of turn it in and then sort of secretly walk away hoping he likes it? but kind of afraid of the confrontation, afraid to have an eye-to-eye contact with someone that might very well need that to happen. You might need to be someone that's a little more take charge in your role. Have you evolved enough as a person to be ready for this jump that you're manifesting? And that can be the case for relationships. That can be the case for jobs. It can be the case for money, believe it or not. It's a little strange. I had the fortunate experience of kind of going from not making a lot of money, making good money. Sorry. I was making good money, but comparatively speaking, like nothing, to making a crap ton of money. And that's a process in and of itself that you need to be ready for, not just morally, but also from a tax standpoint and liability standpoint and just where you invest and what you do. It's a whole different process. So again, sometimes your manifestation's just sitting there waiting for you. It's waiting for you. But what's the lesson that's hidden? What's the lesson that you're still not quite learning? What is the thing that will actually make you a better person? And then once you figure that out and incorporate that into who you are, then your manifestations will start to show themselves. They will start to show up. Now, one example I've used before for me, and a lot of people in this space, this business, if you will, the big thing is to have manifested a specific person. Now, I'm going to say I've manifested specific people into my life numerous times, but there was a very specific person that I was trying to manifest. And I realized through the process of manifesting that I was not being the best version of myself. I was not putting the best version forward. The lady I was trying to manifest, one of the most wonderful people I know out there, but also was in a relationship, also had a child that would have been impacted by anything that I was trying to manifest. And the larger purpose or point was shown to me, was highlighted to me, that this is not necessarily the best version of you, Dan. Yes, she's a wonderful person, but is this really what you want to do? Do you really want to destroy another relationship? I know I could manifest it in somewhat of a healthy way, but I'm from a broken family. And I don't know if there's any healthy way to go through a broken family. Again, that's one of the thoughts that might have been holding me back. But ultimately, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be with a married person. I didn't want to destroy a relationship. I felt that was bad karma to start a relationship on. So I backed away. And the second I did that, I found the most wonderful person who I'm currently with now. It was a powerful moment for me to realize that I just needed to open up to the thing that I actually wanted, not to the specific thing that I thought would fill that void, or the specific thing I thought that I wanted, when in reality, it was the general thing I wanted. I just thought this person was that. Sometimes you got to take a step back from your manifestation and go, what is going on here? What's the bigger purpose? What is it I really want? And when you answer those questions and you get your heart set in the right direction, almost immediately you will manifest your dreams. That's the key. It's not always necessarily exactly what you want, but it is always what you want and what you need. Your higher self is like that bird that's flying high overhead, the eagle soaring above, and it knows exactly what's out there. It knows what's in front of you, and it knows what you're prepared for. And sometimes it holds back because we're not ready. There's no failures. Manifestation constantly works, constantly. There's no failures. There is only showing you that you're not quite evolved yet enough. That's all. And that's good, because life is about evolution. Life is about learning, and especially right now in the times that we're going through, life is very unique. We're finishing up a cycle, and this is sort of a graduation. So for many of us, manifestation is the vehicle that we're learning how to evolve. And it's a great way to do that, because you're paying attention to what's happening in the outside world, and you realize that comes from inside of you. And connecting those two dots gives you an advantage over so many other people. So never ever fear that your manifestation's not coming true. Never ever fear that there's any problem with trying to manifest whatever it is that you're manifesting. Understand that if things are not going the way you would like them to, alter what's happening inside of yourself, and you will see the outside change almost immediately. And I mean, within less than a day, you will see the changes come. Know thyself. Look inward. What happens on the inside is what you see on the outside. It always comes in that order. It never comes from the other way. The outside never shows the inside. It's always the inside creating the outside. When we truly understand that, then we now have the power to take the report card that life is showing us and improve ourselves if necessary. If you're getting an A already on your report card, awesome. You're on the right track. Every one of us deserves that manifestation process, and you're going to have it. It's Dan Radiostyle.